What's going on, everybody? This is ODC. That's me, and I'm back with another action figure review. This is my review of the Batman Arkham City Jarvis Tetch, aka the Mad Hatter, from Series 2 from DC Collectibles and the Arkham City line. I kind of just been putting this off. This is still when DC Direct was around. This is before DC Collectibles. Actually, I should say this is DC Direct. But we'll just call it DC Collectibles, so that's pretty much what the company is now called. So this is from Series 2. I actually picked this guy up for $8 at a local shop. The only reason it was $8, it was originally posted as 12, was because the packaging was damaged, but I don't care about the packaging. I'm going to pull this guy out. I'm glad he was only $8 because he's a very small figure, but we'll get to that point in a second. The other figures in the wave are the Riddler, which I actually have on the way. There's Catwoman, God bless you, fiance, just sneezed in the other room, and then there's Detective Mode Batman, there's Hush, which I've already reviewed a long time ago, and then we have the Mad Hatter. So let's not waste any more time. We'll get the Mad Hatter out of packaging and take a closer look at him. Okay, and we're back with Jarvis out of packaging. He looks pretty cool. Like I said, with these DC Collectibles figures / DC Direct, since this is a DC Direct figure, the sculpting is really good. The paint is always usually good on these figures. Unfortunately, the articulation on this guy is just god-awful. And on top of that, he's a much smaller figure, which is what he's portrayed in the Arkham series. He's a small, kind of like not quite a midget, or I should say a small person, but maybe dwarf size, I would say. Maybe like Hobbit-sized person. A very creepy, greasy-haired, yellow teeth, just an oddly weird-looking person. A very awkward-looking person, as I should say. He does come with one accessory, and that's just his hat. And I believe that's the card in the front of the hat, and it doesn't really want to stay on his head. You kind of have to balance it, and it looks really odd when you put it on his head. And it falls off very easily. I might actually get in here with a Dremel and Dremel that out. As you can see, you can see the Dremel that DC Direct used, or I'll just say DC Collectibles. That DC Collectibles used on this hat, and it doesn't really fit his head. Even if you try to push it down, it doesn't want to fit. So they didn't do a very good job dremeling this hat. So I'm just going to probably get in there with my own Dremel and fix that so it'll sit on his head properly. Just so it doesn't look like it's it kind of looks like it's floating on his head. That's probably my first issue with this figure. The second issue is the articulation is just god-awful and awkward. I don't know why in the world they would ever cast him in this pose. I don't remember him ever doing this pose during the video game. It looks really odd. I don't know what he's doing with his fingers. Or it looks like it's like an arthritic pose on each of his fingers. I just don't like it. It just looks stupid. Why would he be doing this? Why would anyone ever be doing this in a real life pose? I don't know. But like I said, it could be better. I would say that I just hate these stupid hands. Ugh, they're awful. There's just not much to do with him, I guess, is my main problem. I'll go through the articulation right now. He does actually come with a display stand too. I needed to point that out and I did not, so I apologize. Back when DC Collectibles used to give us display stands, so I'll go through his articulation real quick. His head does swivel side to side, and he does have that nice pivot to him side to side. We got no job turkeys, no gobbles, nope, no job turkeys. His head doesn't really look up. It kind of looks eye level, and then it does look down a little bit. So that range of motion right there. He can do a full 360 if you want him to, so I'll just show you that real quick. I just snap his neck, and now he's dead. So there you go. His arms go up and down about that far. That's about it. He does have a full rotation at the shoulder. He does have no bend at the elbow. He's just kind of sculpted into this pose. He's stuck in this stupid pose. I don't know. Ugh, it just looks horrible. And he does have a swivel at the wrist. He does have a swivel at the waist. And that's it. I think he does have, yeah, he does have a swivel at the ankles, but I mean, you can only really get him in one pose. And I guess it's nice that they did give us the swivels right here. Because let's say DC Collectibles were to have just given him no swivel and just kind of molded him and he's supposed to stand in this pose. Sometimes what you get in, you know, and most of us as collectors know this, but sometimes you don't get the best mold in a pose, and this little bit of makes a huge difference, because if he didn't have that and he was stuck like this, or his legs came warped in the package, or they were too far apart, he would just fall over all the time. But this swivel really does make up for make the difference up, I should say, for that problem. There's not really much else to him, to be honest with you. Let me get in and show you his face here. He is one ugly sumbitch. Let me just say that. I'll quote Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is one ugly sumbitch. But really good sculpting throughout the rubbery coat. It looks really good, gives a good feel. He did a really good job with the stitching going throughout all of his coat. On the back portion, that's his rear end, and a little paint blemish right there. So, I mean, overall, I would not pay... I think the ceiling for this figure, I would pay around 12 to 13 bucks for this figure. I'm glad I paid $8. If you can find him for $8, snag him. But he's, like I said, he's a much smaller figure. Even with the head on, I'll do a little size comparison right here. I can't even really fit him on camera without having to back up so far. So here's Series 4 super articulated Batman, and as you can see, he is just, Batman is just dwarfing him. So. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say about him. I mean, he's a nicely sculpted figure, nicely painted figure, but other than that, his accessory doesn't really fit on his head. It wants to fall off all the time. And then you got these stupid, weird, old man arthritic finger poses that don't really make much sense at all. I don't know what the sculptor was thinking when he was doing this, but yeah, this is really one of the few and far between Mad Hatter figures that we get, which is just a shame. I think the only other Mad Hatter figure I have is from the Hush series. So, or was that a Long Halloween? I can't remember. It's one of those two. But I mean, it's nice to have him, and it's nice that he's we got this little guy. But I feel like he should have been a part of a 2-pack or something with someone else to warrant the original, which was what was it, 20 bucks for this figure? I don't think he warrants $20 being such a tiny figure. So I don't know. That's just me. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you guys on the flip side.